There's a suite of things that in general threaten all of our watersheds. One that we see in our watershed and other southeast Michigan watersheds is stormwater. All the water that hits the ground when we have a rain event hits impervious surfaces like parking lots, roads, and it goes directly into a storm drain and goes right into the river just like that.
It's called, pervious versus an impervious surface. So if it's impervious, like the cement, then the water doesn't soak into it. So anything that's on the cement, when the rain washes over it, it can take it with it into the rivers.
So now you have the potential for sewage to enter the river in certain aspects. So it's like flushing the toilet.
Since we can't really say like stop developing, stop building cities, you'd have to start teaching each other how we can prevent the pollution now that we have more impervious surfaces. Something you can do is educate, letting people know the different ways that they can cause pollution so you can avoid doing that. We have stenciled storm drains, so they say no dumping drains to river. And that just reminds people that anything that they dump out there is going into the river. And then picking up after your pet, that's another one. You want to make sure you clean that up because it can contaminate the water with E. coli and other bacteria.
On this side of Troy, our watershed flows directly to Lake St. Clair, and what we need to have a better understanding of is that the runoff that comes from our homes, our driveways that go directly into those drains that go to Emerald Lakes, that go to the Rouge River, the Clinton River watershed, it magnifies every single time we connect pathways of water.
A lot of people don't, I think, take that into consideration, especially if they're not directly on the river. A lot of people don't know what a watershed is. And so if they're a mile away from any body of water, they might not particularly understand what they're doing on their lawn has an impact.
Our actions, our fertilization, our waste in our own driveways truly does have an impact. There's been so many studies recently of beaches shutting down, Metro Beach in particular shutting down, and other tributaries being highly infected and uninhabitable, fish showing up belly up, and they're attributing it back to E. coli infections. Jeremy was interested in studying whether or not a virus could actually infect and destroy E. coli. And so with his study of that, he was really focused on whether or not he could put this into a body of water that was infected with E. coli in order to eradicate and cure the water, if you will, of that infection.
Pretty much what the theory is it's almost like looking at the negative of a picture. Here we're counting the colonies. On here we'll be counting the holes, so almost like the negative. It's wherever a cell of E. coli falls, instead of growing a colony up, it will be burst open with the bacteriophages. They will be distributed and they'll kill all the surrounding E. coli and make a hole.
I think the future is good. At one point in the 60s, the Clinton River was one of the most polluted rivers in the state. We've seen things get a lot better throughout the watershed. Now there's a lot of efforts from individual residents to municipalities really trying to deal with the impacts that come with being an urban watershed and our high population. This is an asset to the communities that it runs through and the communities in the surrounding area, both economically and to quality of life and our water quality. Things look good. We're working our way.